Okay guys, story time on my way back. So this story is about the day that I got detained, or the day that I got arrested. So it was my first year in America. Actually my second year is when I got my first car. Yes, so I got my first car the second year in America. And what I did was, I was pulled over by the police for having my backlight wasn't working. I guess they call it tail light. So he pulled me over and gave me a ticket. That was my first ticket ever. Like there's another one ever, right? So anyways, my first ticket and my first detention. Oh my god, this is gonna be juicy. So I got arrested, guys, or I got detained. So see, I was still so new. You know, in America, dates are dates, time is time. So I didn't know my backlight wasn't working. So this police pulled me over in Rochester, Minnesota, and gave me a ticket. So when I got the ticket, he gave me the options. He's like, you can report to court this particular date to contest it or whatever. So I didn't take it seriously. I didn't know how it worked, so I just took the ticket and I stashed it in my glove compartment, and I forgot about it. So one day I was driving. No, I wasn't driving. So one day I was going to look for a job, and in America, when you look for a job, they ask for your identification. And one of the identification they ask for is your driver's license. So I gave out my driver's license to the person who was interviewing me, and my social security card. Social security card is a card that you need to work. It is the number that is identified with you to collect taxes. It's a government number to show you're paying taxes, and also to show how much you've paid in for retirement in future. When you retire, they'll give you social security benefits when you get older, or I think right now it's 68. You can start collecting when you're 68. You can start collecting social security benefits. So anyway, and you can also, it's also a number that identifies you if you become disabled, like if you get into an accident or you get sickness that makes you disabled, then you qualify for social security benefits, and they identify you with the social security card. So anyway, long story short, but do we really want it short? No, we don't want it short, do we? So I gave out my social and my driver's license. So they do background checks using your social security and your driver's license to see whether you have any criminal record. If you have a criminal record, you would not be hired. So they looked up my background and they found out that my driver's license was no longer valid. Oh my goodness. So this woman, it was a woman. Do you want to see my face? I'm at a light. So this woman, let me do that. Actually, no, not my face. Okay, so this woman called me and told me, hey, ring, hey, I ran your driver's license and it looks like it's not valid. I ran your driver's license and it looks like it's no longer valid. You want to check with DMV. DMV is Department of Motor Vehicle Services. So shock on me, I'm like, what? My driver's license is not valid? What? So I called them. So I called the DMV, and they tell me that my driver's license has been suspended, but I need to go to the DMV where I got they gave me the address of that particular DMV that I need to go to get more information. So me missing a clue, innocently I'm making a trip going to the DMV. So when I got there, ninapanga laini, there's people there. I am I'm lining up for my turn to be served. Okay, so this woman asked me, greeted me and is like, what can I do for you? That's how they do it here. They're like, what can I do for you? Hi, what can I do for you? And I'm like, hey, I came here because I was told my driver's license was suspended, and I was told to come here to find out more information, and I'm here for that. So she asked for my license, I gave it to her, and she was like, oh, I'll be right back. So I thought she was going to do I don't know what. So she left, and then within 5 minutes, guys, within 5 minutes, two police officers behind me called my name. So I responded, and they are like, come with me. I followed. They have paperwork already, and they're like, come with me. So I followed them. I'm like, what is going on? What is going on? So I followed them. When I followed them, we entered into an elevator. And then at the elevator, that's when they told me why they are coming to get me. They told me, ma'am, you have a warrant of arrest. You have a warrant of arrest. Imagine I had driven myself with my suspended driver's license to that place. I was by myself. I was still relatively new. So they're like, oh, we are going to detain you for at least 24 hours. Oh my God. Obviously, I asked them, why do I have a warrant of arrest? They told me, oh, do you remember a traffic ticket that you blah, 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 blah? And I'm like, oh, shoot. They're like, yeah, you didn't show up in court, and that a warrant was issued for you. So, in other words, if I had any other cop following me, driving, they would have pulled me over and brought me. Any police would have arrested me. But mimi nilijilete, I brought myself innocently. So anyway, they're like, oh, we have to detain you for at least 24 hours, but we will find out if there is a judge to hear your case, then you don't have to stay 24 hours, but you need to be detained at least, maybe, was it 2 hours or something like that, or 1 hour to serve the detention. I was like, okay, I don't know the system. I don't have even money to hire a lawyer. I am so freaked out. I'm thinking now I'm going to be a criminal. I'm thinking this is going to be a criminal record on me. And when you have a criminal record, you cannot work. So mimi nimeshtuka. Oh my God, I am so freaked out. I'm like, what am I gonna do? Maisha yangu, I'm feeling like my life is now over in America. I came here to go to school and make money, I can't do that if I have a criminal record. So nimekuwa detained. So they detained me within the DMV place. They have a detention place. So I'm just sitting there with my tiny self. You see, now I'm like, I've gained weight, I look big. Man, I used to be so tiny. At a like upepo ingenibeba. And then I used to be so timid. Oh my God. So my timid little self. In high school, guys, they used to call me kadogo. Kadogo meaning tiny. So I was always tiny most of my, at least for most of my life until now. Squeezy, I'm fat. So anyways, so my my tiny innocent self is in a room being detained. I'm like, what am I going to do? So they came to get me. They said, hey, man, there's a judge who can hear your case. So there are people in front of me, like when a judge is listening to them. The judge calls my name. I am speaking so softly. The judge looked at me and he asked me, ma'am, do you have any children? I said, no. It's like, then he told me, that's why you're speaking so soft. I can barely hear you. Can you speak in the microphone? So he explained to me what had happened. I just told him I forgot about it. Then he told me, just go pay. I think it was like $200 or something like that. I needed to pay right there. It was due right there. Good thing they were accepting checks. I don't think I even had $200. So I wrote them a check. Alafu niende nishughulike. Niende nishughulike nitafute pesa. You know, I wrote them a check. At that time, they were accepting checks. So had I not had money, they were still going to detain me. So I had to write a check and then nikaenda nikaomba pesa marafiki zangu. If any of you is listening and is my friend, I think I asked Rehab means Juguna. He probably paid for my ticket at that time. So anyway, so nikaenda nikatafuta pesa, alafu ndio ikaclear hiyo. I went and looked for money so that the check doesn't bounce. Oh my God, can you believe it's illegal also in America? Oh my God, it is illegal for you to write a check that doesn't have money. Like a check, if it bounces, it's illegal. It's a crime. So imagine me writing a check. Saizo I have a problem already. Alafu niongeze hiyo problem ingine. So anyway, after paying, they released me. And then they explained to me that it was not criminal. It was a misdemeanor. I think they call it civil misdemeanor, meaning it's not criminal. So guys, that is how I got arrested and detained in America for the friggin' first time. So guys, that's how I got detained and arrested in America for the first time. That was scary. So that's it. I just wanted to share that. Please put in the comment section below. What do you think? What would you have done? Would you have freaked out like me? Anyway, that's a story that I will live to remember. Thank you for tuning in.